Hi, Peter Bernstein, Senior Editor of TMCnet.com at ITEXPO in Las Vegas, and I'm delighted to be joined by Ken Hosek from Cradlepoint, who has been kind enough to stop by. We're going to talk mobility in the enterprise, and we're going to talk disaster recovery and a couple of other things. But why don't you give us a brief description of the product, and then we're going to get into some use cases.
No, thanks, Peter. Our target customer is distributed enterprise, so it's retail stores, branch office, kiosks, digital signage. We were put on the map in enterprise probably about 5 years ago after Hurricane Katrina, and there was a large insurance company whose network got hammered. All of their applications were cloud-based. They couldn't access their applications at a time where their customer needed them the most because the wires were flooded. So we ended up providing a failover solution that converts 3G, 4G to Ethernet and powers their branch. Today, we're seeing, just like that Hurricane Katrina 5 years ago, we're seeing after the Target breach, the PF Chang breach, that there is a retail, a Hurricane Katrina of retail security going on right now that we're addressing with some of our products right now.
And it's got to be a pretty easy sales proposition, right? Which is you go in and you say, okay, do you want to be up when everybody else is down, right?
Yeah, the business continuity message is very, very easy. Just like today is easy. One of the things that has exploding for us right now is parallel networking, and it's this notion. The Target breach, they were able to come into the Target system through a vendor's. They were able to steal some vendor credentials, come in the system, do a pivot attack, and steal credit card data. Parallel networking is about the concept of creating separate networks that are application specific so that if someone does breach it, there's nowhere for them to go from there. If you go into a Walmart today, you might find over 25 Cradlepoint devices powering different third-party networks and specific applications like digital signage, kiosks, etc., just to keep them separate from the core network running point of sale.
It's kind of interesting because the history of our industry is talking about convergence, and the reality is, because of the bad guys, separation is important, right?
Yeah, but sometimes the simplest solution is the simplest solution, the most effective solution. So,
where do you think we go from here in terms of enabling enterprises to do the kinds of things that we're talking about? Because unfortunately, the bad guys are as smart, if not smarter, than the good guys are at the moment. And business continuity has become, in an age where real time is the only time.
Yes.
There's some real challenges for enterprises in terms of being safe and being up at the same time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for us, I think what we see, we want to bring the most powerful solution as possible to these smaller locations that don't have a lot of money. And our approach to that is to use a hybrid of cloud-based capabilities with on-premise capabilities. When I use Siri for voice recognition, the reason Siri is effective is I can talk into my iPhone, it sends the voice footprint up to the cloud, and the supercomputers do the voice recognition. If you put that capability on the iPhone, it'd be a $6,000 device. We're trying to do the same thing with security, to really use the cloud, use the enormous compute power up there to do a lot of the security work in conjunction with lower cost hardware that's in these distributed enterprise locations.
So the cloud's really critical.
Absolutely. What we found in our business is customers found us. We got a foothold in enterprise through failover. They fell in love with us through our cloud-based management platform and our capabilities there. And now as they're adding different applications to the branch or doing hardware refreshes, that's where we're being brought into new different opportunities.
Can't let you go without saying part of that refresh is the availability of LTE, right?
Oh yeah. We're very good at LTE, as the industry knows. And we've found that we can offer that to enterprise and enterprise-grade connectivity. And some of the solutions we just launched actually have 2 LTE modems with the idea that we can get rid of a very costly T1 line. If you're spending $500 a month on T1, 1.5 megabits, we'll give you a solution that has 2 LTE modems. Each of them have 15 megabits per second. When you combine the availability, it's almost 4 nines of availability at a fraction of the cost.
And you get failover.
Absolutely. Load balance, failover, you get that business continuity built in.
Fail over.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to fall over. Anyway, Ken, Really appreciate you stopping by. Hope you had a great show.
Thanks, Peter.
And Cradlepoint, name to remember.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.